Dear all, I believe that some of our members and supporters will still join us, but I think that maybe for the start, it's already enough minutes after 3 o'clock. And so I would like to begin our academy honoring 15 years of Regional Alliance ICOM, Icum Southeast Europe. So thank you very much for all that joined us. First, I would like to say that we are recording this event. So please allow us. I believe that you will allow us. If somebody doesn't want to be here, now is the time to go in a way. But okay. Okay, thank you very much for being part of this event, for this online celebration. And first, I would like to warmly welcome Mr. Alberto Garlandini, President of ICOM. Then also another very special guest, dear Luis Raposo, ICOM Europe Chair. Here is also our dearest friend, Andrea Richter, the Director of Forum of Slavic Cultures. I would like to welcome Goranka Khorjan, former chair, and also Nina Zdravic-Polic. She's actually one of the most important persons of this event because she was really nice to accept this very big role and job and task for this academy. I would like also to warmly welcome all the chairs of national committees of ICOM-C and all the members that enabled this regional alliance to start and then to flourish and then to work great until this moment. So I'm really honored to have the first welcoming address to this important event to celebrate 15 years of the regional alliance, as I already said, ICOM Southeast Europe, that was successfully initiated in 2005 and gathered museum professionals in this region. The success of this initiative was provided by many, but we have to emphasize the first president, Dr. Mila Popovic-Ivancevic, with all co-workers at the start and for the most of the following years. Unfortunately, the first chair, so dear Mila Popovic-Ivancevic, could not be with us, but I know that we'll be seeing her in all activities, in photos, in also achievements that are and will be presented today by speakers. So I would like to start with reminding us what was and still is ICOM-C mission. Led by ICOM core values and strategic guidance, ICOM-C from its very beginning has been exploring new strategies of revitalization of heritage in the region of Southeast Europe with the aim of improving conditions in museums. The concept of integrated care has been implemented and applied when both cultural or natural heritage was in question. ICOM-C favors the approach of care for the cultural heritage in museums and in its natural environment alike. So ICOM-C now connects 11 countries, 11 states, 11 ICOM national committees and experts from these countries. Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Bulgaria, Croatia, Greece that joined us in 2019, Moldova, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Romania, Serbia, and Slovenia. I believe that in this turbulent time, it is even more important that we celebrate, that we remind us how cooperations and networks are crucial, and also to emphasize the importance of the regional alliances in the ICOM structure and the many opportunities for ICOM-C countries, for us experts, for museums, for heritage institutions and societies in our region. So I'm really honored that President of ICOM is celebrating with us and that I can announce Mr. Alberto Garlandini as the first speaker. So I will now stop sharing and we can see each other again. So Mr. Alberto Garlandini, dear President, please, this virtual floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Well, dear friends, thanks for inviting me to the celebration anniversary of the ICOM Regional Alliances of Southeast Europe. It's an honor and a great pleasure to share some consideration on the challenges that museums and ICOM are facing. For almost a year now, our lives have been turned upside down. Museums are going through the most serious crisis in their modern history. The second ICOM Global Survey on the impact of COVID-19 confirms a widespread climate of uncertainty about the future. While some museums have reopened with major limitations, many others stay closed. 6% of directors still think that their museum is at risk of permanent closure. 16% of directors state that at least a quarter of their staff was furloughed or laid off between February and September 2020. Freelance and temporary staff, often young and motivated professionals working in the education, digital communication, and visitor services, are facing a disastrous situation. And many of them are now with no job or salary and are considering entirely different careers. We are risking to lose their knowledge and commitment, which would be a catastrophe. The loss of income due to the lockdown has been traumatic. Many museums will have to reconsider their business model and reinvent their social role. More than 50% of museums complain that so far they have received neither direct nor indirect financial support from government. However, ICOM surveys confirm that online activities of museums and their channels of digital communication increased in 2020. The return of visitors to museums will be slow, and museum professionals are working hard to reassure government and citizens that visiting museums is the same and rewarding an experience now as it has always been. Museums will have to adapt to a new scenario marked by the crisis of mass tourism, fewer resources, and persistent restrictions to access and participation. The pandemic has dramatically increased inequalities and widened disparities in accessing heritage and in participation to cultural life. In the last month, ICOM has introduced remarkable changes, starting from the governance reform that we presented at the last July's meetings. The Executive Board and the Secretariat have worked tirelessly in all these months, but we are still engaged in the process to improve governance, internal communication, decision-making, and working methods. The four keywords of our commitment are innovation, participation, communication, and transparency. Let me shortly present you the great progress made in such a short time. 1. Innovation. The pandemic has pushed ICOM to innovate and explore new solutions. Our committees, including, of course, ICOM Southeast Europe, have been more active than ever. ICOM has issued technical, scientific, and social recommendations on reopening, security, conservation, community resilience, and digital outreach. Even in lockdown, the Director General and the Secretariat have provided quality services, webinars, online training, and grant schemes such as the call for ICOM Solidarity Projects to support museum resilience, with an endowment of 280,000 euros. And I'm pleased to confirm you that we will launch the Red List of cultural objects at risk in Southeast Europe in 2021. 2. As regards our working methods, we have moved forward with a code of conduct for executive board members for the improvement of the standards of leadership our organization needs. The code drafted by the executive board was revised by the Standing Committee for Ethics and the Standing Committee of Legal Affairs and has just been forwarded to the chairs of national and international committees for comments. 3. As regards transparency and internal communication, we regularly publish minutes and decisions of the executive board meetings in the member space, which has become an internal communication hub. In the member space of the website, you can find the video recording of the General Assembly, July's General Assembly, and responses to the questions raised at last July's meetings. We have launched a new monthly newsletter to keep our members informed on the life of our organization. And in the next few days, the Secretariat will promote a video campaign aimed at communicating the roles of all ICOM bodies. 4. Participation. A task force composed by executive board members and the spokespersons of national and international committees have recommended principles and procedure for the transparent appointment of standing committees and working groups. After approval by the executive board in December, these principles and procedures are now circulating among the national and international committees for comments. 5. The executive board has agreed that an external review would be an opportunity to improve ICOM's governance. Last December, the executive board established a steering committee that will include representatives of the national and international committees and discuss the goals and the timeline of this external review. 6. Following the request at last July's meeting, the executive board established a working group on statutes and rules to review the current statutes and rules before the Prague Extraordinary General Assembly. 7. ICOM Define, the former MDPP2, has successfully started its work in an atmosphere of friendship and respect for different opinions. The executive board approved the new participatory methodology for the update of the museum definition that the co-chairs, Laura Bonilla and Bruno Brulon, presented in the 10th December webinar. Well, dear friends, in 2020, the museum community has faced extraordinary obstacles, and ICOM has launched several initiatives to help museum professionals. ICOM is advocating for emergency funds for museums at all the international tables. In the last couple of months, I have spoken in favor of museum and heritage at the meeting of the Ministries of Culture of the G20 countries, at the UNESCO High-Level Roundtable, at the 25th anniversary of the UNIDROIT Convention, and at the Conference on Cultural Participation Sustainable Development organized by the Organization for the Economic Cooperation and Development, OECD. I am confident that new challenges can be drivers of innovation and that new difficulties will bring forth new approaches. Now it's time to take new responsibilities. It's time for unity. Let me quote the simple beliefs that guided the birth of ICOM. We cannot move forward if we are not together. ICOM is changing, and I'm proud of what we have accomplished so far together. I am aware that so much still has to be done. As we continue to strive for improvement, I wish to thank you for your trust and for your commitment with ICOM. My best wishes for a successful meeting.
Thank you very much for your words, for insight in our future, that we truly believe that it is better and that, as we already shown, we can adjust and be successful also. So I would like now to thank you, and with continuing also to thank all who saw the need for this alliance and did really great job during last 15 years and gave us a lot of things to do in our future. So I'm honored to announce Nina Zdravic-Polic, one of the first members and also one of the most important developers in our region at the field, on the field of museums. She's museum counselor at the Slovene Ethnographic Museum in Ljubljana, Slovenia, and been involved in museum work in different capacities and has had various functions in ICOM for over 25 years. Just some of them, she's the member of Icum since 1993, and since 2013, she's an honorary member of Icum Slovenia. She was the president of Icum Slovenia, vice president and board member of Icum Sea Alliance, board member of Icum Europe Alliance, a board member and vice president of Icum MPR International Committee, and so on and so on. And she prepared a special overview of Icum Sea work. So please, dear Nina Zdravic-Polic, this virtual floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for this nice introduction words. I'm most honored to greet also our president of ICOM, Mr. Garlandini. It's wonderful to see you, though virtually. Thank you. Therefore, dear ICOM friends, colleagues, participants of this meeting, good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to speak to you today, as we have heard on this special occasion dedicated to the 15th anniversary of Regional Alliance for Southeast Europe. This important milestone is an opportunity to look back and highlight some of major themes and achievements. Excuse me, I have to, and achievements, some major themes by ICOM in the field of sustainable heritage protection and promotion in countries for over past 20 years that was done in the region by pointing to the active role of ICOM Slovenia in this regional organization. By way of introduction, I should first like to pay a tribute to Dr. Mila Živančević, the first president of ICOM of many years and its main initiator. Mila Živančević advocated the idea and the importance of establishing a new regional organization within the framework of ICOM International Museum Council that would prompt the protection and improve the conditions of the cultural and natural heritage conservation and safeguarding in the countries in the Balkan region. This initiative was endorsed by a long-term regional project on the topic of revitalization and cultural and natural heritage in Southeast Europe, the author of which is also Mila. This project represented a platform for the foundation of ICOM Sea Alliance and was of essential importance for its development and for further actions like training, education, and events, conferences, meetings, workshops that took place in the years that followed. They were carried out in cooperation with various international, national, and local institutions, museums, museum professionals, and others. For example, the Central Institute for Conservation of Serbia, which was the headquarters of ICOM, ICOM organizations, UNESCO, ICOM, Getty, and a great number of other partners. ICOM-C was established in 2005, at first as a working group of ICOM Europe. In 2008, the ICOM Executive Council granted ICOM-C the status of a regional alliance. Today, it consists of 11 countries. We have heard their names, so I'm not going to repeat. But the interesting point is that since 2019, Greece has entered, which we have also heard from Alenka, but Greece was already at the time of its first initiative partly engaged. So I'm very pleased for this success. Congratulations. ICOM-C objective has been thus to foster national and regional cultural policies conducive to positive changes in the regional heritage sector through collaboration of ICOM national committees from the countries in Southeast Europe, and with a clear mission to create new perspectives in heritage, revitalization, and joint actions. ICOM Slovenia responded to this initiative of 2005 by seeing the start of the 21st century as a continuing process of building a united Europe, with Slovenia at the crossroads of West, East, North, and South, becoming part of the European Union. It showed its keen interest in regional relations, promoting cultural heritage, and in different aspects of cooperation. Since 2006, ICOM Slovenia has thus played an active role in ICOM-C and has been involved in a variety of projects and forums of cooperation in the wider regional cultural context of the European Southeast region. ICOM Slovenia was thus part of ICOM-C regional project, revitalization of cultural and natural heritage in Southeast Europe, which developed on the basis of an integrated and sustainable heritage conservation concept of preventive care in the region. This relevant project was in process between the years 2006 and 2016. It consisted of 3 stages marked by 3 conferences that each outlined the results, important results and achievements. Their conclusions of these conferences were published as conferences proceedings in languages, more languages of the region. Revitalization of cultural and natural heritage in Southeast Europe project included 3 stages. Here they are. Stage 1, conditions. They were initiated. This project was initiated, first part of the project initiated at the conference in Kladovo in Serbia in 2006. Then the second stage was risk assessment of cultural and natural heritage in the region. The project ran from 2019 to 2012, and then it concluded by results and the suggestion for the management in the field of revitalization of cultural and natural heritage in the region. This happened in the year of 2016. The aim of this project was to raise awareness about a responsibility towards the regional cultural heritage assets, with emphasis on the importance of introducing appropriate safeguarding measures and conditions for their preservation. In addition, throughout 2006 to 2016 period, since the creation of the project and the establishment of ICOM-C, a great number of specific educational courses and workshops were organized addressing diverse aspects of preventive heritage conservation and providing the necessary methodology, theoretical knowledge, and tools for further development to local environments. In the context of ICOM project on the revitalization of cultural natural heritage in the sea region, ICOM Slovenia and Slovene museum experts carried out a host of activities and made numerous contributions, such as presentations at conferences, other meetings, educational events, and so forth. Excuse me, I'm not very versed with this. Several teamwork for integrated emergency management, training and capacity building workshops for museums professionals were organized in Slovenia from 2008 onwards with the purpose of initiating the improvement and the emergency management of collections, transfer of risk assessment principles for collections, and providing practice on emergency plan buildings. In recent years, ICOM Slovenia has also participated in reorg SE programs for the reorganization of museum depots. Among other activities, in 2009, it organized a workshop in Macedonia on museum objects, photography for the purposes of documentation and identification of museum objects. It developed a website concept for project combating illegal trafficking in cultural goods in the region in the year of 2007, and many other activities. In conclusion to this presentation, personally, as a former ICOM Vice Chair, I view the years of our collaboration with ICOM as extremely fruitful in the broadest sense of the word, especially at a time when it was much easier to fulfill our museum mission in a non-virtual world through direct and enriching interaction and dialogue, professional relations and friendly ties with custodians of heritage in different countries, with easier access in life, in situ to cultural natural treasures, testifying to our past and to our cultural identities. I feel it was a privilege to have experienced museum work in such a setting and under such external inspiring circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nina. I would like also to congratulate you on the last award that you received. That was last year, the end of the year. You received the Valvazor Life Achievement Award for Integrated Museum Communications, conferred by Slovene Museum Society. So congratulations for this award, and thank you for all your work. And now we have two special guests that were not announced, but we are really honored and glad that they're here. Mr. Jan Kižgeci from Novi Sad. He was actually one of the members of this initiative board and also the board of ICOM from the beginning. His references are huge. He was founder of Agriculture Museum in Kulpin in Novi Sad. He was Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Water Management. And actually, he was born in a special house But now you're here, and thank you for that. And please, can you give us some insight on these first days of ICOM?
Thank you very much for inviting me and for a nice announcement. I'm very honored to be in this company. This is the first time that I was asked to join this group for celebration of 15 years of our ICOM. And I'm very honored that I was in this small group, that we signed a small agreement. I don't know if it was agreement, it was something on the paper napkin, as I remember. And Mila Popovic-Ivancevic was actually initiating this. And I must admit that I was really, and she said this paper will be historical. And I was rather suspicious about this history, but I am very glad that we now have 15 years and very active many activities, scientific conferences in former Yugoslav countries, especially also in Serbia. I'm very glad that we joined to all these activities, and I must admit I'm now retired several years ago, but I'm still active with agricultural history in Novi Sad, that we have very good support from our government. And also we have very active members of, let us say, agriculture people that are with professional in other scientific work, but history is our hobby. So we still have very active work in frame of Agriculture Museum of Kolpin. A few years ago, we established a small association like IMA, Association of Small Agricultural Museums, ethno-houses. Now in Serbia, we are very active about this. Almost every village or bigger village has got ethno-houses, and we are very active about this. And I will ask to cooperate among the ICOM in this part, sort of our rural history, and to start maybe to organize after these diseases that we have all here, Corona, that we can after this start with these activities with actually this small farm, historical farms with all these ethno-houses and rural history. I'm very glad that I see many faces, very nice faces and known faces, and I will invite you whenever you want to Novi Sad, to Kolpin, and we shall continue with this actually cooperation. I'm actually in this work still active, and I will support all activities of ICOM. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for everything, and we all hope to see you very soon in Novi Sad, or maybe you can go somewhere else where the activities of ICOM will be held. So the year 2016 is another breaking point in our work, and that was the time when Goranka Horian became ICOM chair. Hello to Goranka. She is now CEO of the Ethnographic Museum in Zagreb, with a huge experience in EU projects focusing on renovation and refurbishment of museums. She has been an active ICOM member since 1997, and her references are also very different and huge. She was the member of the Executive Board Council from 2010 to 2016 of ICOM, and active in the Regional Alliance of ICOM-C. Now, at the moment, she's the chair of Intercom, and also in 2020, she was appointed as the chair of LEAC, that is Legal Affairs Standing Committee at ICOM. She has been and still is active in Europa Nostra, Best in Heritage, and many other associations. Also member of ICOMOS and Interpret Europe. So she was the chair of ICOM-C from 2016 to 2019 to our conference in Kyoto. And thank you, Goranka, for sharing with us your insights about ICOM-C.
Thank you, Alenka. Yes, it was always a pleasure to work with people who are committed, happy to pursue ICOM goals, and really focused on the benefit of the museums. And this was really something which we can notice in ICOM-C. Right from the start, with the great enthusiasm that the founders started the work, it was not easy in the area which had a lot of historical disputes in the recent past. But I think altogether we managed to somehow see the priorities and focus on the welfare of our common heritage. What we have done mainly, I would like to say, is our commitment to safeguard our heritage, intangible and tangible. When we first met and when Mila gathered us, we immediately saw at the first conferences that we attended that museum storages are really a weak point in the region. They really need a special address and different approach. And I would like to say, and one of the projects that was also very much recognized by ICOM was Storage Reorg, which was done also in cooperation with Icum. And we had in almost every country a very successful workshop, and people really attended. We improved the condition in many storages. And also we managed to create a team of experts, mentors, who were ready to help in other ICOM-C countries and also worldwide to improve the conditions in the storages. The next point I would like to mark or point out during the term that I've served is our wish to put intangible heritage on the agenda. And I think still there is some space for ICOM and for the whole community to push this celebration of the International Intangible Heritage Day, the 18th of October, the 17th of October, when UNESCO brought the convention. And this was something that was particularly of interest in ICOM Southeast Europe, where many countries, and I must say led by Croatia, which took enormous efforts to promote its intangible heritage and is among the countries with the largest inscription on ICH list. So many of our countries saw that this heritage is important, it's vanishing, it's fragile, And in 2019, we held a conference in Zagreb devoted to intangible heritage. And this is something maybe to continue and to focus in the future as well. Another initiative that is going on and that also needs our support is the Red List for ICOM Southeast Europe. And it's currently going on. The ICOM Secretariat is contacting all the countries and ministries and experts in order to make a coherent list and help us all to take care about the endangered heritage in that model as well. I will not go broader because we really did a lot of work. We had exchange of exhibitions. We took part at various meetings as active members. We participated in museum definition. Round tables were organized. One of the really excellent examples was done by Maya in Skopje. It was really a huge work done. Also maybe to mention that we somehow were always cooperating with other committees, in national committees, international committees, other regional alliances. So we are really very open and would like to see that ICOM projects work and are spread among our members. This is something I'm sure that we are going to continue, and Alenka also showed commitment and competence to lead ICOM-C in this term. And I think this is a fair, how to say, model that the chairs are exchanging from different countries. So there is a place for everybody, and I think we are really following ICOM's values of inclusion. And as you may see, we are very active online in these times of trouble, and I hope soon this will be over and we will go back to normal. I would like to greet everybody and thank all of you because you were really wonderful supporters, wonderful collaborators, and this is, how to say, a good spirit of ICOM, I would say, in our regional alliance. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. To prove all this, we have two special visual program parts. And the first one was prepared by...
I don't hear you. Okay.
You hear me now? Yeah. Was prepared by Tanja Rosenberger and Nina Zdravic-Polic with great support of Slavko Spasic. And the second one I will announce before it. But first, please please see and enjoy the images of work of ICOM-C. So just one moment. And now the second one is actually the work of our colleague, member, Vice Chair Slavko Spasic, and you will see in the film, okay? Thanks to all. This is a great insight of great work and great events, and what you all said already, a great network with so many excellent people experience, and also then achievements, of course. So thank you, thanks to all. Now I'm really proud also to welcome again the president of ICOM Europe, Mr. Luis Raposo, sorry. We also have one joint project in this year's Museums and Migrations that actually has some problems because of all what is going on in our world, but it doesn't matter. Thank you for your support for ICOM Europe support at the beginning, and please, thank you for your words.
Thank you for the invitation, and let me only address you 2 or 3 words only to say that I'm very happy to be with you now. Since Milan 2016, when I've been elected for the first time as chair of ICOM Europe, we have had always very strong paradigmatic relations between ICOM Europe and ICOM CE. Is maybe the best example on how 2 regional alliances which share partially the same geographic space, because at end we are belonging to each other in this large Europe in the UNESCO sense. As you know, ICOM Europe encompasses about 50 countries, from my own country, Portugal, in extreme west, up to Azerbaijan and Armenia in the extreme eastern area of outside Europe already, but Europe in UNESCO sense. And someone could maybe think that since there is a wide regional alliance for all this space, it would be difficult to have subregions organized as regional, not as regional alliances. Not at all. Not at all. The example you gave me when I arrived to ICOM Europe in the chair of ICOM was fantastic. And since then up to now, I'm already in my second and last mandate. It has been really very rewarding for me and for all our board in ICOM Europe to work with you, where we have very strong, close friends. Now, as you know, there is another regional alliance in Europe, ICOM North, and maybe in the future others will emerge, because there are sub-regions in Europe with very particular characteristics, which, and you know, we are in ICOM Europeans, we are more than 80%, 95% of members. So we have a lot of colleagues and a lot of work being done with particularities in different regions of Europe. So it is, of course, we have also in ICOM Europe, I mean, we have also very strong ties with regional alliances outside Europe, like Latin American, Arabs, mainly these two, but also in Asia. So the global networking is working, but inside our own continent is very, very pleasure to me to say to congratulate you for your work. And as you said already, Alenka, we have common projects still ongoing, even if in this crisis. The one on migrations, museums and migrations is the first one, as far as I can remember, is the first one assembling all regional alliances inside ICOM from the entire world. Unfortunately, the pandemic crisis arose, but I hope that we can still go ahead with this special project this year and the next year. And of course, this year, when we are now, we have in ICOM Europe 2 main events. I don't know if I can, to finish, share my screen or not. I will try to do that. I don't know if I'm allowed to, but and maybe you are seeing that. I don't know if you are seeing the posters.
We see. Thank you.
Okay. So we have 2 main events this year. The first one will be still in a video format, webinar, necessarily. It is devoted to the question, the big issue of big, very big museums, the most visited in the world, what is happening to them and will happen in the future. These are for many of them had already in recent years followed the so-called market route, and they are suffering a lot. And we will reflect on that with 10 of our 10 colleagues from the 10 of the 20 most visited museums in Europe. And then we have, I don't know if it will be possible or not to be presential, to be the conference, the yearly conference of ICOM Europe with you in your region. in Maribor. I'm not sure if we can manage to get it presentially in situ, I mean, with all of us in place. I'm not sure now, because I'm a bit somehow pessimistic on the evolution of the pandemic situation this year, not after, of course. But in any case, either presential or by video, we will have this conference, Living in Europe, which is a very seductive theme also. And I want to thank you, ICOM CE, I want to thank you, ICOM Slovenia, and of course our colleagues from Maribor to allow us to provide us with this possibility to have this conference together this year. So again, thank you very much. A lot, the future is limited. The only limitation is our imagination and creativity with others, of course, because we have this very good rule in ICOM of changing sharings and boards. I mean, my last one I will finish in Prague to 2022, but others will follow, of course, and because ICOM is handless, as far as I can understand it. Thank you very much again.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We will join this conference also in Maribor. I hope and invite all our members to attend. So we have, can you please stop sharing?
Okay, I will do that.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask, and I'm honored to ask our dear colleague Andrea Richter from Forum of Slavic Cultures for some words. And of course, I know there will be a lot of cooperation and support from you too. Please.
Thank you, Alenka, for invitation. Hello to everybody. Mostly I know you, my colleague Kaja is also here, our president of ICOM Slovenia. Kaja, hi. Virgil also, and so on and so on. I'm very pleased that I was part of these 15 years with you, because I remember Kotor, I remember Banja Luka, of course, Celje very shortly. But I'm very pleased because I was not so optimistic at the beginning in 2005, but now after 15 years, I think we all agree how important the ICE is as a part of ICOM family. Especially I enjoy the film of Slavko. It is something charm with you and the music and so on. Also, I'm, as you, Alenka, mentioned, yes, I'm the director of the Forum Slavic Culture, and mostly the countries which are member of ICC are also part of our family. And we are doing a lot of projects, but also I think it's time to do some more, especially now in this Corona and Zoom and new technology and so on. Sometimes it's much more easier to come to your home, to your, I don't know, office, whatever, and also with ICOM Europe. I agree, the new ICOM families are now growing. We also thought that it will be good to establish one Slavic part of the world, because also the members are not only the Europe and so on, but for now we are staying just around our international foundation. Again, all the best. Thank you for the invitation. Welcome in Slovenia always, because I think here we are a lot of colleagues, mostly women from Slovenia. Thank you, Nina, where are you? I hope, oh, Nina, yes. So, and of course, Tanya, and all of you, welcome in Slovenia, welcome in our forum and in projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Before opening the floor, this virtual floor, to all of you, I would like to thank all my co-workers in this time First, both vice chairs, Slavko Spasic and Virgil Stefani Tilescu. He will be our host, I hope, this year, this September in Romania, where we have our conference connected with an international committee, ICR, that also was a very big part of our president's professional life, yes, Mr. Garlandini. So we hope to see you all there. So both vice chairs, Goran Kahorian is still the treasurer, and with all of her help, we can do our job as good as is possible. Then I would like to thank Matija Dronic. He is our web, Facebook, and everything guy. He helps us to do our best in this field. We have to improve, we know, but we are trying to do that. And I would like to thank also my colleague here, Andrea Matias. She's always supporting what we are doing here in the museum that I work. We are in the castle, a big castle, so internet is not always the best, but don't worry, we are trying our best. And there is so many supporters, all the members from 2 members from each of member countries, presidents of national committees, and of course the whole ICOM community. So thank you for everything. And now I have some important things to say. This is also hellos from some members, former members, people who were involved and still are involved in ICOM. Zaharinka Alexovska-Bacheva says hello, Jana Shubit-Prislan, Irena Žmuc, and also I have opportunity to invite now Biljana Đorđević. I hope that you're still here. Yes, you are. Yeah, I saved you for this moment, sorry, because you are a connection between all the periods. And please, on behalf of all the people that cannot be here and they would like to be here, especially our first president, Dr. Mila Popović-Živančević, please, your impressions, and then we will open both the floor for all the others if they want to say something.
Thank you, Alenka, very much. Well, I have to say that I'm really glad that we are all together today. Unfortunately, online, not in persons, but I hope that in the future, in the near future, we'll have the opportunity to meet each other. Well, almost everything is already said. I don't have to say anymore. I was active not from the beginning, but I was a secretary of the ICOM from the 2016, December 2016 to the 2019. But before that, I was quite involved in what ICOM was doing, so that's why I entered after the first group, let's say. I have to say that we made a really good team, Goran Kahorian, Tanya Rosenberger, and me. Goranka already talked about our initiative to celebrate the 17th of October, which is actually the International Day of Intangible Heritage. And I would like to add something on that. Now, almost 3 years ago, well, 2.5 years ago, we were in China, in Hangzhou, in the International Conference of crafts, traditional crafts. And we decided then to put the idea on the floor and to make it, yes, that's the occasion, to make it international, and as a ICOM, and it was really very, very well accepted. And I would like to say now, today, when we have the president of ICOM and the president of ICOM Europe, that what I would like to see in the future in ICOM is International Committee for Intangible Cultural Heritage. I hope that you agree with me and that we can do that together in the future. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So
yes, just a small remark. I agree with Biljana because ICOMOS is also now drafting a new document on intangible cultural heritage, and I think ICOM really shouldn't limp behind on that subject because it's one of the top fields.
Agree also completely.
Yeah. Thank you. Always when you look in the past, we form and we shape the future. So that's the most important. So please, if somebody wants to say anything now, this is the second part, more open, some words if you want to share with us, please. Okay. Slavko, sorry, Slavko.
You know, thank you for watching my video. And you know, the video from short, very short. The video from Zlatibor best reflects the spirit of ICOM-C. Open dialogue, exchange of experience, finding solutions, serious work, but at the same time, socializing, developing a sincere friendship and sense of community. You know, after all, the role of cultural policy in the development of a better society and the entire region is undoubted. Short.
Thank you very much. Okay, Virgil, yes?
That's...
Yeah.
We lost you.
Mm-hmm. Maybe just I can just...
You are just saying hi, or you want to speak?
Huh? I just would like to...
Tanya, okay, sorry.
Who is now?
Virgil, I saw first Virgil. I'm not sure why. Okay.
Oh, hi.
I will be very short, just to greet really all my colleagues and also friends, I can say, experts, and to emphasize the importance of spirit, which is among this ICOM-C community. I think that this is also of a great importance, even especially in those days when which are not so, maybe sometimes really unpleasant for the heritage and for the professionals which are working in this field. So I think that this spirit gives us a dignity and a power, so that it's very important that we build such a net also in the future. So thank you all my colleagues for all contribution and all projects we made together. Thank you.
I would also like to thank, first of all, to Alenka, who organized this, and secondly, of course, to all the chairs before her, because this almost crazy idea, which started 15 years ago, was 25 years ago, right? Was successful, and I think that it could be a model for cooperation in regions with big diversity, but which are united by the common history. And this is the case of Southeastern Europe. I think that probably only in the northern region of Europe could be something similar. And I'm very, very happy that Romania is a part of this group, though probably we're not so active in the last few years. I hope that starting with this year, 2021, we could recover. And of course, I want to thank you to Luis and to Alberto for all their support. Do think that they are supporting us. And hello to everybody who and thanks to everybody who worked during all these years in ICOM.
Thank you for all your words, and we all agree. Thanks to all. Do we have somebody else? Maybe it's now the time for this last part. It's actually the Ash Wednesday, the first day of fasting in our country. It depends on the personal religion, but it doesn't matter. Wine is very important, always in in Europe and this part. So this is actually the actual toast that we announced. And I prepared also the 8th verse, the 8th stanza from our very important poem, the 8th part of a toast from Franze Prešeren. He is our national hero from the 19th century. The second verse, the second stanza from his poem Toast is actually our national anthem. But the last one is really the appropriate one for this kind of occasion. I am not an actress, I am not an interpreter, but I will try, I will do my best. So we have at least to our reunion to ask the toast. Let it resound, since in this gay communion, by thoughts of brotherhood we're bound. May joyful cheer never disappear from all good hearts now gathered here. Cheers. Na zdravje.
Na zdravje. Cheers.
Alenka, I didn't get wine from you.
You will get it. Please come, please come.
Come to Maribor.
Yeah. First to Maribor, then to Romania, then again all over the world, hopefully. Thank you, thanks to all, thanks to our guests, thanks to dear Mr. Alberto Garlandini, Thank you to Luis Raposo, thank to all of you. Have a great afternoon, and I hope to see you soon in person. I really don't enjoy this type of meeting, but it's better than nothing, yes?
Yes.
So we have to be glad that this is also one way that we can meet and celebrate. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye-bye, everyone.
See you in Maribor.
Yeah.
See you in Maribor.
Bye.
Yes, Maribor.